Shalom, brothers and sisters. Here we go again with another edition on the behalf of Solid Foundation, Israelite Academy. I just woke up and Spirit spoke to me and told me to jump straight to this lesson, to get this word out. And before we get into the lesson, let's give double honors to the elders. Salutations to the Young, the brothers that's preaching and teaching this truth in sincerity, edifying the lost sheep of the house of Israel, week in and week out, which are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, simply the people of Negroid and ending in descent, which are the children of Israel. We are to edify those people and do our best with all our might to open their eyes up, to let them see that they are the children of the promise. And last but not least, we give all praises and glorification and due honor and much glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai being the Son of the Heavenly Father, who they call Jesus the Christ, and Yahweh being who they most likely call God today. So, what is this topic based on? This topic is based on New Year's, all right? Pull some images up before you. You can see all this before you, brothers and sisters, concerning New Year's 2018. Happy New Year 2018. Okay, we know basically yesterday is what they would call so-called New Year's Eve, and today is what they would call Happy New Year's, which is January 1st 2018. Okay, but I'm here to address this issue that 2018, first and foremost, is not even the appropriate year. Brothers and sisters, it's not the year 2018, all right? No. Actually, when you do your research, I'm not going to go deep into this, but the earth is like 6,000 something years old. And we are at the verge of the earth being like 7,000 years old. We like still in the around in the 6,000s, but the earth is closely to 7,000 years old, man. And it's not 2018 years old, brothers and sisters. But this is what the government do. This is what they always have done to keep the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans blind. And I'm here to tell you that today is not New Year. Today is not what you see. Okay, and I will be using the Bible to back up my claim, to prove and show you, brothers and sisters, it's time to stop being so damn foolish, man. Okay, so let's go to Proverbs 12 and 15. Let's get into the scriptures now. King James Holy Bible. Proverbs 12, and we'll read 15. And it says that the way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. So the way of a damn fool is right in his own eyes, because this might be right regardless of the truth that's being shared with you guys. You probably still is going to uphold New Year as being right in your eyes and say, oh, it's a new year, it's 2018, it's a new year, and it's right in your eyes. But if it's right in your eyes, okay, and if you celebrate New Year's, or if you celebrated New Year's Eve, okay, you celebrated New Year's Eve, if you did that, and you still want to claim that New Year's is on today, January 1st, 2018, then guess what? This is the way of a fool. Okay, because it's not the way of the Lord, it's not the way of the Most High. We'll show you that. So if you believe that, then you're a fool, because that's right in your eyes. But he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. Now, what is the true source of the counsel, man? It's the Bible. He that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. He that take heed to these scriptures. He that start getting in these scriptures and trusting in this word, man. Those are noble men, noble woman. Puted man, puted woman. Okay, let's go to the next book, chapter, and verse, which is Isaiah 4:21. Okay, Isaiah 4:21, and we'll go down and see what that says. I believe Isaiah 4:21. Let's see. I believe, or it could be Isaiah 14. Let's see. Salakia. It's Isaiah 5:21. It says, "Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes." You see, to be wise in your own eyes is to believe this madness, man. To be wise in your own eyes is to believe that January 1st is the first month of the January is the first month of the year, which is not, and that January 1st is what you would call Happy New Year. That's to be wise in your own eyes, man. And if it says in Isaiah 5:21, "Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and puted in their own sight," man. So we don't want you to be wise in your own eyes. We want you to be wise concerning the Most High's policy, concerning these chapters, concerning this book, concerning these scriptures. That's how we want you to base your wisdom, your knowledge upon. Let's go into Proverbs 8:28 and 26. I'm just showing you various verses. Proverbs 28:26. This lesson is not even long, man. Proverbs 28:26. Okay. Proverbs 28:26. He that trusts in his own heart is a fool, but whoso walketh wisely shall be delivered. So I think I done showed you enough of verses about brothers and sisters trusting in their own heart, believing in their own, based on their own perception, believing what they think is right. If you do that, man, basically you're a fool. So we want to be wise so we can be delivered. We want to be wise and puted man, woman, and children so we can be counted as the sons and daughters of God, the chosen people, the nation of Israel. All right? So I said that to say this because I opened it up with that to say this. So let's figure out when is the first month of the year, because we know that January is far from the truth. January is not the first month of the year. So January. See, they say January. They would say January, right? That's the first month of the year, and then 2018. This is New Year's. That's not true, man. That's not true. Let's give you the truth. January is not the first month of the year. Okay, so we headed over to www.calendarorigins.com, and we're gonna look at January here. January. This comes from Genuus, okay, and Januarius, translation of Latin Januarius, named after Janus, the god of beginnings. Okay, you can see that. So that's Januarius is named after Janus, the god of beginnings. Okay, brothers and sisters, I also have one of the posters that when we go out and about in the streets, we have literature that we take with us. And these are talking about also the months and days of the week in the Hebrew, right? And I know you can't see it, but I'm going to read it to you concerning January, Januus. says it's talking about the origin of the months as you see before you. And it says that January, Januous, God of doors and gates. Hence, this is why the Western world opens up their new year in this month. That's the reason why over here in the United States of America, this Western world, Babylon the Great, this pagan ass corporation we're living in, they would say that January is the first month of the year. Why? Because January, Janus or Januarius, it is basically a Roman god, a Roman Greco god, who the Romans show homage and worship. This god was counted as to be the god of doors and gates. The god of doors and gates, and this is why the Western world opens up their new year in this month. Okay? And January is actually the 11th month of the year. If you don't believe me, you don't have to, but do your research. January is not the first month, it's the 11th month. And it comes from a Roman Greco god whom the Romans worship. Now in Jeremiah chapter 10, I'm not going to go into that. Jeremiah chapter 10, verses 1 and 2, it tells Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, to learn not the way of the heathen, man. And who are the Romans and the Greeks? The Edomites, the so-called white man. We don't supposed to be studying it and learning his ways. So, brothers and sisters, if you know about months and days of the week or the Hebrew, we'll know that January is the 11th month. But February, February, as you can see right here, says that Februarius, from Latin Februarius, name of Februa, the feast of purification. So February, Februarila, or you can say Februarius, that was also a Roman Greco god who the Romans worship. And that means time of sacrifices. Februaria or Februarius means the time of sacrifices. You see, and that's who the Romans paid homage to during that time. So all your months of the year is based on Roman Greco gods. Because this lesson is going to help you understand the origins of the months. See? So the Hebrews did not name their months nor days of the week like the Greeks and Romans. We didn't do that. We didn't name our months and days of the week. The Greeks and the Romans did that. The heathen did that. Okay? Both the months and the days of the week in our modern calendars are named after Greek and Roman gods. Okay? Greek and Roman gods. The days and the months, okay, is named after Greek and Roman gods. We didn't do that as the Hebrews. Okay? So, February would be the last month of the year, which is the 12th month of the year. That's when, that would be counted as the last month of the year. March is actually the first month of the year. This is New Year's. March is New Year's, not January. So you can see March here, it says from the Latin, Martius, month of Mars. Over here it says March, Mars. See? The god of war. So March came from the Roman Greco god Mars. Going on to April, Aprilis. Okay? April, a Latin Aprilis. You see that? Month. The name may derive from the Greek goddess of love, Aphrodite. So all these months is Roman Greco gods, man. And April comes from Aprilis, Aphrodite or Venus, which means the goddess of love. Go on down to May, because April is, I'm going to show you something. March is the first month of the year. April is the second month of the year. May is the third month of the year. Okay? And when you go down to May comes from Maya, which is the goddess of spring. Okay, as you can see, Myas, Latin Myas, menses, month, from the Greek Maya, goddess of spring. That was a Roman Greco god. So May comes from Roman Greco, literature. And you can see it says May would be the third month of the year. June will be the fourth month of the year. Right here. Wait a minute. June being the fourth month of the year. From Latin, mensis, Junius, named after the goddess of Juno, queen of the gods. So Juno, means goddess of marriages and well-being. Roman Greco god, June. All right. June will be the fourth month of the year. July will be the fifth month of the year. July comes from Julius, from Latin Julius Caesar, after whom it was named in 44 BC, before the Common Era. The original name was Quintilis, fifth month. See that? Fifth month in the early Roman calendar. So you can see right here, man, we're not making it up. They telling you, man, July is the fifth month. Okay? Because March is the first month. And that's why they call a lot of brothers and sisters April Fools. You ever heard of that term, April Fool? They call you a fool for believing that January is the first month of the year. Okay, and that's where that derived from, April Fools. March, that March is the first month of the year. March, April the 2nd, May the 3rd, June the 4th, July the 5th, right here. Then it says August. Okay. Now I didn't go over with July before we go into August. Let me go more with July. July named after Julius Caesar in 44 BC. He was regarded as God. So July comes from Julius Caesar. He was a Roman emperor. August. You see August? Augustus, from Latin Augustus. Caesar, 8 BC, before the Common Era. Now I wouldn't say it's 8 BC. I would say more like Caesar Augustus lived during the time of Christ, so I would consider that AD. But the original name was Sextilis, the 6th month in the early Roman calendar. So August is the 6th month because August comes basically the original name. The Romans and the Greeks, primarily the Romans, the original name was Sextilis, the 6th month in the early Roman calendar. So August, named after Augustus Caesar, also regarded as God. They call that month Sextilis. Okay, they call the month of August Sextilis because that means the 6th month. But then after Julius Caesar came into power, not Julius Caesar, but then after Caesar Augustus came into power, they referred Sextilis, the 6th month, to August and named this after Caesar Augustus, which was the first reigning Caesar. You see that in during the time of the Messiah, man, in September. So you can see that August is what? The 6th month. September. September is from Septembre, from the Latin September, 7th month in the early Roman calendar. You see that? So September was named after Septimius Severus. Now this was an Israelite Roman emperor that conquered Rome in 193 AD. September came from an actual man, Septimius. Now when you look at Septimius in the Latin means 7, man. Okay, just like a septagon has 7 sides. Septimius was a black Roman emperor. He was an Israelite. He was a Jew that conquered and subdued Rome in the year of 193 AD. And they in September is based on his name, Septimius, which means the 7th month in the early Roman calendar. So we're not making it up. Now you go to October and it says October from Latin October, 8. It's the 8th month. Like an octopus has 8 legs. Octo from the Latin is 8. Octopus, a octagon has 8 sides. A mother with 8 children is an octomom. You see that? So October is the 8th month in the early Roman calendar. And October, from octo, Latin word for 8. November. Okay. November is from Latin November, 9th month of the early Roman calendar, from novum, 9. So November from novum, Latin word for 9. Novum is the Latin word for 9. Nueve is the Spanish term for 9. Noventa is the Spanish term for 90. Okay? So we're not making it up. That's the 9th month of the year in the early Roman calendar. December comes from Decembre, and it says a Latin December. It says 10th month of the early Roman calendar. December. 10th, membre, from means month. So, as you can see, December is the 10th month of the early Roman calendar. December from decim, which is the Latin word for 10. So keep in mind that the Hebrews did not name their months nor days of the week like the Greeks and the Romans did. We got this. We picked this up after we was exiled and we became slaves under the Greeks and the Romans. We started to extrapolate their customs and started to apply this to our culture. And we started calling on such terms. We did not call months and days of the week. We did not do that, call them by applying them to various diverse gods. We didn't do that. All right. So just keep in mind that days, months of the week are named after Greek and Roman gods. Now what the Bible says about that? What the Bible says about that? Let's see. This is Exodus 23 and 13. It says, Exodus 23 and 13, I believe. Yes. In all things that I've said unto you, be circumspect, and make no mention of the names of other gods, neither let it be heard out thy mouth. You wouldn't realize if you have to really look in on this verse right here. It says, and make no mention of the name of other gods. What is that? The name of other gods is like, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Those are the name of other gods. And like I told you, December is not the 12th month, but it's the 10th month. December, Deci, which the Latin Deci, which means 10. Then you have powers of tens. It's called decimals. Then you have like every 10 years is a decade. You know, so yeah, man. We showed you the truth, the calendar, the names of the months, the origin. And you can find this on www.calendarorigins.com. And it tells you, man, that January from all the way to December, these ain't nothing but Roman Greco gods. Israel did not call their days and months by these such terms. So it tells you in Exodus 23 and 13, make no mention of the names of other gods, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth. That's when you say, man, what's the day? You say Monday. Monday comes from Moon Day. If you back up, you say Sunday. That comes from Sun's Day. That's when the pagans worshiped the sun. Gave homage, great homage to the sun god Baal, and they call it Sun's Day. And then when the sun was down, they ushered in a second day, which what they worship the moon. Okay, the goddess Semiramis, claiming to be the moon god, they worship the moon on the second day, which would they applied it to be moon day. And then you have like Tuesday, Wednesday, Woden's Day, Thursday, Thor's Day, Friday, Day of Frigga, Saturday, Saturnalia. All these ain't nothing but Roman Greco gods. Even all your days of the week, Roman Greco gods. All your months of the year, Roman Greco gods. And it says, make no mention of the name of other gods, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth. So you need to go back to the Hebrew, and you need to find out in Hebrew how to say what you would say Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You need to go back into the Hebrew and see how to say that. I'm going to do a video because we didn't call them no Roman Greco gods. We just used ordinal numbers. That's all we did. You know, like let's say the first day of the week. Like, okay, let's say, I'm going to give you a perfect example. Like the first day of the week, we wouldn't say the first day of the week. The Hebrews wouldn't say the first day of the week was Monday. The Hebrews, they said that how we would say it, we said Ra'ashwan Yawam. You see something like that. Ra'ashwan, which means first Ra'ashwan Yawam, the first day. We didn't say like Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So make no mention of the name of other gods, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth. And that's when you use, you know, days of the week like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, those names of other gods. And when you use names such as January, February, those names of other gods. Okay, so we get into the closing point of this video. And before I close out, brothers and sisters, I said I was going to show you that, you know, January is not the first month of the year. Okay? You should know by now. But I'm going to use Bible reference to show you this. So, let's see. We can go into Deuteronomy 16:1. Deuteronomy 16:1. Deuteronomy 16:1, and it says, observe the month of Abib. Keep the Passover unto the Lord thy God. For in the month of Abib, the Lord thy God brought thee forth out of Egypt. Now, who came out of Egypt in the month of Abib? Who came out of Egypt? The 12 tribes of Israel, which is here. Judah being the so-called Negroes, Benjamin, the so-called West Indies of Jamaica, the Levites, the Haitians, Reubens, the so-called Seminole Indians. All these 12 tribes, which are blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, you came out of Egypt. Observe the month of Abib and keep the Passover. Okay? Because in the month of Abib, this when the Lord Yahweh, thy power, brought you forth out of the land of Egypt. By night, you came out by the twilight. During the month of what? You came out during the month of Abib. That's just not hard. So we're going to go into the concordance and show you when is the time of the month of Abib. Actually, we're going to pull it from the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary to show you. Children of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, the month of Abib is when you came out of Egypt, and you came out of Egypt by the twilight, by nighttime. So we're going into the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. This is the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. And we're going to look at the term Abib. Abib. To see when is that. And we also going to show you in the concordance on the blue letter. But we need to read from the references as well. Abib. I'm not going to make a lie out of myself because I said this video is not going to be too long. So actually, after I cover this, we can probably close it out and a couple more scriptures. Now, when you look in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary on page 13, it tells you the term Abib. It gives you the definition of the term Abib, and it says Abib is an ear of corn. The pre-exilic name of the first month of the year. This is the pre-exilic name of the first month of the year. So Abib is the pre-exilic name of the first month of the year. This is when the Lord, your God, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, brought you forth out of Egypt by night. You came out during the month of Abib. So what that's telling you, the month of Abib is the first month of the year. Okay, and then it says after the exile, the name was changed to Nisan. Because after Israel went into slavery, they applied this pagan god Nisan to this month. It fell about the time of our March and early April. So like between March, based on the new moon calendar, between March and early April, they telling you this is the month of Abib. March and early April, most likely March, sometime early April. This is the month of Abib when you came forth out of the land of Egypt by night, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So Abib is another term for March, man, or early April. Abib. Okay, as you can see, Hebrew 24 in the Hebrew concordance. And it tells you that Abib is what? Fresh. Young barley ears, barley. What does that mean, fresh, young barley ears? It's talking about produce. It's talking about vegetation. Okay? Month of ear forming. That's talking about when the ear corn, man. Most likely, that's when you have the sprouting of the ear corn during that time, which is March. March is spring equinox, man. It says of greening of crops, of growing of green, Abib. It says growing of green, Abib. Growing of green, what? That's when the plants begins to become revitalized and blossom. The regurgitation of, the trees dying out. Like you have various trees. If they're not evergreen trees, they lose its leaves. You have various plants and shrubs that die out during the winter solstice, but then they are revitalized during this time of the year, which is March, man, which the Bible refers it to Abib. That's why it says the greening of crop, the growing of green, because this is when all the plants and the vegetation are regurgitated and revitalized. Everything began to blossom and bloom. The bees are flying around. This is the month of the pollen, man. You know what I'm saying? So month of Exodus and the Passover, it says March or early April, man. Abib. So when the Bible tells you in Deuteronomy 16:1 to children of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, it says observe the month of Abib. Technically, it's telling you to observe the month of March or sometime early April, because this is the time around the Passover that it should be kept. And then the time around Abib, March or early April, is when you came out of Egypt as slaves for being there 430 years. You came out of Egypt by the twilight. So is January the first month of the year? Hell no. And I shouldn't have to do this again, but I have to keep you brothers and sisters updated, because I have already done a lesson on this, and I just try to do reviews, brothers and sisters, because there's nothing wrong with reviews. I believe reviews should be done frequently, because it's to keep your mind refreshed. If you don't know, brothers and sisters, I've done a video called Silly Watch Night Christians. Okay, this is how it looks. So as you can see right here, I went over to my page, just type in Shabar Israel. As you can see right here, Shabar Judah ben Israel. This is 81 views on this video. The reason why the views are so low is because many people don't believe what I'm telling them as January not being the first month of the year. And a lot of brothers and sisters was offended when I spoke out against Watch Night service, especially the Christians. So this is low views. Still a good edifying video. I don't base my video on views. I base my videos on the true knowledge of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So this was done 3 years ago. Silly Watch Night Christians, S.F.I.A, Solid Foundation, International Ministries, and now we have Solid Foundation Israelite Academy. Just be sure to look at this, man. This is a good video. S.F.I.A, Silly Watch Night Christians, and that would give you more detail on this lesson. Okay, so man, basically you have the whole rundown now. to let you see that January 1st is not the first month of the year, and it's not New Year's, and it's not 2018. We are approximately at the year 7,000. Okay, so this was another edition on the behalf of S.F.I.A Foundation Israelite Academy. Brothers and sisters, hope you was edified. Share the knowledge. Help your family and friends. Push this truth to the four corners of the earth in sincerity. This has been another wonderful lesson on today. And once again, I'm going to call you an April Fool if you believe that January 1st, the first month of the year, followed by New Year's. You is more likely to be an April Fool. So until next time, thank you for your time. Subscribe. Shalom.